Good morning from the garden. Today's main goal is to get the squash plants in the ground. It's meant to rain later today, which should be amazing because I think, like most of the UK, we're in some dire need of some rain. So I've got up early to plant these in the garden before it gets too hot. But there's a range of squash plants, pumpkin and courgettes here. I've left a little gap at the end of the row because I've got some winter squash which I sowed a few weeks ago, and they're not quite ready to come out yet, but they'll be going in at the end. So yeah, let's get these guys in the ground. Good morning from the polytunnel. I've just been sowing my final seeds for the season and everything else is going really well.
So in here I've been sowing some basil seeds. I would love to be able to make our own pesto, but I don't know if you saw my basil growing endeavours in the winter. Did not go well. So I thought I'd wait until the summer and I'd plant them out. Apparently they're really good to plant alongside tomato plants in the polytunnel, so fingers crossed. And I've also got a pack of red broccoli. I thought that we had some growing, but then when we planted out all the brassicas, I suddenly realised that we didn't. I think I did sow some, but I think the seed packet was too old and they did not germinate. So I went to the store and I got some more. The plan was to get one packet, but they didn't have it. So the only one they had was this set of 4. And with all of these different varieties, you can potentially grow pepper broccoli all throughout the year, which would be quite fun. And the plan is, once the garden gets established, that was one of the main goals this year, and obviously to have a successful summer, and then going to turn my attention to sowing things and having a harvest throughout the winter months as well. Now this definitely takes a lot more time and planning, but that would be the plan. So I'll give you a quick tour of what's currently germinating really well in the polytunnel. So these are the kales waiting to go in. Thought we'd wait till they got a bit big until we planted them out. There's also some lovely purple kale. So this will keep us going. These 6 little pots, these are cauliflower, which will be planted alongside the dill, which is apparently a really good deterrent for any cauliflower pests. These 3 are all winter squash. So likewise, once these get a bit bigger, they'll be going in the squash aisle. Here we've got some winter cabbage. It's like the Swede is starting to come along quite nicely. These are the 2 different broccolis. Some are purple and that one's called Rudolph, but I only planted those out yesterday. And spring onions, which I think will take their time to appear. And this is my peach tree, which I'm super excited about. Only got this a few months ago, about halfway through spring, and it's doing really well. When it arrived, the flowers, it already had flowers, and luckily a few of these germinated, and I've got quite a few peaches already. I think I will have to thin them out because it's quite a small tree, or make some kind of support for them, because obviously peaches will be getting quite large and heavy. But yeah, really excited. I did have a tiny bit of leaf curl, I think it got rained on, but I've taken off all the infected leaves and I've been using neem oil to treat it. But yeah, hopefully I'll get some peaches in a few months' time. Same with the cherry around the front, that got black aphids, so I've been trying to treat that as well, but fingers crossed this peach tree will do really well this summer.